Okay, so now we're going to talk about sequences. You've got arithmetic and geometric, and I wanted to point out that arithmetic has a common difference, which means you're going to subtract. Geometric sequences have a common ratio, which means you're going to divide, and you always start at the end of your list of numbers to find your difference or your ratio. Now, I want to point out some notation just as a review. A sub n and f with an n in the parentheses is always talking about your next number, your next term in the sequence, okay? A sub n minus 1 is the same as seeing f of n minus 1. Those are the previous terms, so the number before the number you're trying to find, okay, in your formula. So those notations may show up, so you just need to kind of be able to recognize those notations for sequences. So first we have to identify three terms in each sequence. So we've got a sub 1 is equal to 3. A sub n is equal to a sub n minus 1 plus 2. So we have to find the first three terms. So I'm going to go ahead and fill out that blank for our list. So first, second, and third number. So I know my first number, because this is telling me, this is notation for the first term, is 3. And then mathematically, to find the next term, it says that I have to take the number before it and add 2. Well, if I want to find the second number, I'm going to have to take the first number, the number before it, and add 2. So the second number is going to be 3 plus 2, which is 5. And the third number is going to be the number before it, which is 5, plus 2, which is 7. So our sequence starts off 3, 5, 7, and that pattern would continue until infinity. So our next example. So again, we're finding the first three terms in our sequence. So the first term, I'm looking for a sub 1, is 100. And now to find the second, it tells me that I have to take the number before it and multiply by 1/4. So if I want to find the second number, I have to take 100 and multiply it by 1/4. So what is 1/4 of 100? Well, let me see. 100 times 1/4. That would be 25. And to find the third number, I would have to take the number before it, 25, and multiply by 1/4. So let's get my calculator. 25 times 1/4. And it gave it to me as a fraction, so I'm going to say math, make it a decimal, and that would be 6 and 25/100ths, or 6 1/4. 6.25. And of course that list sequence could continue if I kept dividing by 4 or multiplying by 1/4. All right, so let's look at when they use the little different notation. So this is still, f of 1 is still telling me that the first term in my sequence, okay, it's like a sub 1. Okay, this is like a sub 1. So they're telling me that my first number in the sequence is 7. This is like a sub n. So they're saying, hey, to find the next number, you're going to do what I say after the equal sign. And then f of n minus 1, that's the same as a sub n minus 1. So they're saying, hey, take the number before it and subtract 3. So my first number is 7. And if I want to get the second number, I take the first, or the number before it, and I subtract 3. So 7 minus 3 is 4. And if I want to find the third number, I'm going to take the number before it, 4, and I'm going to subtract 3, 1. And I could keep that pattern going of taking 3 away every time from that number to get the next number until they ask me to stop. Now example 4, so we're going to look at here. I'm still finding the first three terms, and again, this notation is telling me that's like a sub 1, -1. F of n is like a sub n, so the next number can be found by taking f of n minus 1, which is the same as a sub n minus 1, times 2. So my first number is -1, and to find the second number, I have to take the number before it and multiply by 2. So that would be -2. To find the third number, I would take the number before it and multiply that number times 2. So the next number is 4.